Road safety is one of the issues that we are able to understand through the laws of physics. Newton's laws relates with road safety applications and accidents because there are relations between them and physical elements like inertia, acceleration, action and reaction, force, and more. Most car accidents occur due to the ignorance of the road safety application. It is important to know the laws of physics related to them in order to understand the importance of all applications. The seatbelt is one of the best tools for protection from car crash. It was invented by George Cayley, an English engineer in the late 1800s. The seatbelt relates to Newton's first law, the law of inertia. It is a law that states that an object stays in motion or at rest, at a constant velocity, unless a force acts upon it. Inertia is the tendency of an object to resist any change in motion until acted upon by an external force. If you do not wear a seatbelt and the vehicle comes to a quick stop, your body will be moved forward and stay in that motion unless an unbalanced force acts upon you. When your car is running, you have the same velocity as your car and will bust out of your car through the windshield. In this case, the seatbelt acts as an unbalanced force to stop your motion down to zero velocity before being thrown out the windshield. The second of Newton's three laws of motion tells us that applying a force on an object produces an acceleration proportional to the object's mass. When you're wearing your seatbelt, it supplies the force to decelerate you in the event of a crash so that you don't hit the windshield. When you are wearing a seatbelt, it obviously stops you from accelerating. If you were to get into a car accident and got hit with a large amount of force, you would accelerate faster, but the seatbelt would stop from accelerating. The force required to stop a 68-kilogram person traveling at 26.8 meters per second in 5 seconds is 364 newtons. If the car hits an obstacle and stops suddenly, that force goes up to 1,822 newtons. In the absence of seatbelts, the force is supplied by the windshield or steering wheel, and the impact is more than enough to kill the person. According to the third law of Newton, there are action force and reaction force that are equal in size, but opposite in direction. Whenever an object pushes another object, it gets pushed back in the opposite direction equally hard. The seatbelt is required to prevent injuries in car accidents in which the action and reaction apply. If you are not in your seatbelt during the collision and you hit what is in front of you, the object you hit hits back with the same amount of force you applied. But if you fasten your seatbelt, it will stop you from flying forward into the obstacle right in front of you. According to Gary Phillips and Greg Lyon, seatbelt usage has saved estimated 12,174 lives in 2013, and 63,000 lives more in the 5 years. The seatbelt minimizes the body contact with the interior of the vehicle. It reduces serious injuries by 50% by spreading the force of impact. In addition, wearing a seatbelt reduces medical costs. Average costs for people wearing seatbelts were 60% less than the ones who were not wearing them. As said just before, the seatbelts have the advantage of not only saving lives, but also saving money. On the debate about seatbelts, the pros stated that individuals dying and being injured is expensive to the state and the people. Money is unnecessary spent on these things when motorists do not wear a seatbelt and get in the accident. The cost of seatbelt laws is small, and the state must spend money to enforce them, and the individuals should give up their right to choose whether to wear a seatbelt or not. The seatbelt laws is legitimate because it improves utility and does not deny the people of a critical liberty. As a result, seatbelt laws are a justified application under economic and ethics. However, Viktor Vygotsky claimed the disadvantage of seatbelts. They sometimes contribute to accident-related injuries, as is described by the term seatbelt syndrome. The fibers of the seatbelt can cause harm to the chest and abdominal areas. Related to the third law of Newton, when your body intends to fly forward but the seatbelt catches you, your body gains force on it and the seatbelt also gains that amount of force as reaction on your body. Sometimes, that amount of reaction from the seatbelt is strong enough to damage the internal organs, or in some cases, lumbar vertebrae could be fractured or dislocated. Although the accident without the seatbelt is worst, even the seatbelt causes injuries to the body during the quick stop of the vehicle. Headrests are found in every type of car to prevent neck injuries that occurred during an automobile collision. The way the neck becomes injured is due to physics. In some collisions, when the car slams into another object or the brakes are slammed on very quickly, the body stays in the same position, but the head is thrown forwards and backwards. If there is nothing behind your head, there is nothing to stop it from slamming backward except your neck muscles and bones. Whiplash, as your bones are cracked and your muscles are strained, while stopping your head from flying off your shoulders. But with that headrest, your backward flying head is cushioned upon impact and brought to a stop, so that the reaction force of the headrest offsets the backward force. Related to Newton's third, and there you have balanced equal but opposite forces on your head while you try to get the car under control and brought to a stop. Let's say you are in a running vehicle. The car and your body is running in a certain velocity, but when the other vehicle suddenly crashes on the rear of your car, the force of that car behind will apply on your vehicle and increase your velocity. The car and your body will leap forward, but if you are not in your headrest, your head will stay in the previous velocity according to the first law of Newton's. At that point, it could result into neck injuries. So as a conclusion, the headrest is a beneficial application that we can use to prevent neck injuries due to the movement of the head according to the laws of inertia. As the seatbelt minimized the damage from the collision in the front, the headrest prevent injuries caused by the collision from the back of the car. However, the wrong position of the headrest can be a serious disadvantage. If the headrest is placed below our skull, it actually causes your neck to snap. When there's a collision from behind, the force pushes the vehicle and your body, but leaves your head behind due to the inertia, and the top of the headrest will break your neck and cause whiplash. In conclusion, the seatbelt prevents the body to fly forward according to the law of inertia during the accident. The principle of seatbelt can be explained with all three laws of Newton, because it was designed to prevent accidents with all of them applying to it. The headrest is used to prevent neck injuries that can happen during the collision from behind. That accident is occurred by the first law of Newton since the head is being thrown backward and forward due to inertia. To prevent it, the headrest holds the head still and stops it from moving in different directions from the body. The headrest plays the role in preventing the neck injuries during the accident.